There are two things that you have to remember always about an ikar and tafel. Whenever we say that the bracha and the ikar also includes the tafel, that's only true if you eat them at the same time, or the second immediately after the first. And therefore, if a person, for example, wants to eat something very sharp, and before he eats it, he puts something sweet into his mouth because he wants to reduce the level of sharpness in his mouth, then you have to make a bracha on both. There's no ikar and no tafel in such a case. He has to make a bracha on the sweet thing that he puts into his mouth first, before he makes a bracha on the charif, which he's going to put into his mouth a little bit later. The second thing we have to understand is that sometimes even food that's eaten together is not really in the category of ikar and tafel. For example, if you drink a cup of coffee and then you decide you're going to eat cake with the coffee, well, there's no ikar and no tafel. Coffee is coffee and cake is cake. You can eat them separately, and you could also eat them at the same time. And therefore, even though it may look to some as though the coffee is the ikar, like what got you to sit down and start eating was the coffee, maybe not the cake, I'm not sure, but such a thing could be possible. Nevertheless, you have to make a bracha on the coffee because it's important to you, and you have to make a bracha on the cake because the cake is also important to you. And therefore, in such a case where there's no ikar and no tafel, you have to make a bracha on each food that you are eating. Also, we understand this is how to make a bracha on the coffee, how to make a bracha on the cake, that there's a problem of which comes first. Clearly, you should make a bracha on the cake first, because even if he likes the coffee a lot, and he thinks he's only eating the cake to be polite, nevertheless, in the order of brachot, mizonot always precedes shahakol.